Hello, everyone. So, after my trip to New York, I have gotten very trip to New York, and over the past couple of weeks, I've gotten very stiff. So, actually, not a couple of weeks, maybe like a week. I've gotten stiff because it only takes, I promise you, 3 days to get stiff to where it feels like you haven't done yoga ever. And this is from my experience, in my opinion. So, and it's just one of those things where, like, if you don't have the space to do the yoga, or you don't want to get on the floor of a hotel, you just kind of forget about it and say, I'll do it I'll do it later. But that's not good at all. Let me tell you, because I just done a session before this video, and I'm so stiff. I like poses that I could do with no issue are now I can barely make it, which is not good, because I work very hard to get into some of those positions. So now my goal is to get back into being able to get into some of those positions. So today is Wednesday, September 10th. I know yesterday was the closing of a lot of cycles. It was 999, and like I said, I know it was a lot of closing of a lot of cycles and other what they call it, karmic loops or whatever. So as I'm learning more and more about numbers and the universe and the cosmos and myself and all of the things, it helps me to understand more and more what's going on in the world, how to break cycles, how to recognize patterns, how to be self-aware, how to hopefully, when I'm in autopilot, not hopefully, for sure, not hopefully, but to command my subconscious when I'm in autopilot, to direct myself into the steps and the actions that that I want to fulfill, and my dreams and my desires to come into fruition more and more, which is the same thing as the old song, God order my steps in your way, right? In Yahweh, 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 in Yahweh. So it's the same thing, right? It's just there's medical terms, there's spiritual terms, but our ancients, our ancestors knew what they were talking about in spiritual terms, parables, old Southern colloquialisms, whatever the case is. But then, of course, science came along, medical terms came along, and there you have it. Same thing, different words, different explanations. But as we know, there's still some unknowns in science due to some things being spiritual that are unexplained. So, what does that mean you want to do? You want to have a balance of both. You want to have a balance of spiritual. You want to have a balance of science and medical, because, again, when there's things that science hasn't, or are just now coming to terms to understand or accept, the spiritual and the ancient wisdom has already known and been there and done that. And even though they couldn't explain it in maybe English terms or medical terminology, it's already been there. So I know in 2025 we think we're learning so much things that are brand new, but they're not. They're just now becoming accepted, by mainstream. So I do believe that meditation first thing in the morning. I have a call coming through. I can't stand it. But I do believe that meditation first thing. I do believe that meditation and yoga first thing in the morning to come into your own self and your own mind before you start allowing everything and everybody else to dictate your time, dictate your schedule, dictate your thoughts. I truly believe that meditation, prayer, yoga, drinking some hot water and lemon or hot tea with cloves, your health comes first, period. If you need that extra minute of sleep, if you need that extra hour of sleep, not just because being lazy, pray to get rid of any procrastination and laziness, and affirm that, God is within me, I shall not fail. That's what I do too. But get your thoughts together for yourself so that you can make any changes, any adjustments, any new perspectives and thoughts that you want to have. That's the only way you'll be able to do it, because as soon as you wake up, your emails are going, people are calling, things that you wanted to do from last night that you thought of, but now all of a sudden becomes so important that you gotta run out of take a shower and run out of the house. I was about to do it myself. I was about to take a shower, run out of the house and go to the P.O. box. I woke up, started cleaning automatically, cleaning the floors, washing dishes, cleaning stoves and wiping down stuff, and then I said, wait a minute, hold on, you're forgetting about yourself again. So then I went and got the mat. I said, let me slow down, because I have been in a very high stimulating place like New York, where there's a lot of lights, a lot going on, a lot of people, a lot of energy. I was like, just slow back down. Now that you're back in Georgia, process, everything that you just experienced. Process what you want to do now that you're back, because you have people around you that may say, oh, it's time to get back to reality and grind, and all that. I don't want to have that mindset no more. No, the grind culture is over for me. I'm more now like work smarter, not harder. Strategize. Still put things in place, but with intention, with focus, with clarity. Because sometimes it's just like the book, Richest Man in Babylon. Sometimes you can run all around the world, this marathon, and then the bag is right there. It was sitting right there beside you the whole time. So, it's like that. If y'all haven't read that, it's a good book to read. Of course, you have to give 10% to yourself, to save. Every time you get money, God first. I didn't say church. Of course, if you want to tithe to church, no problem with that. I do it. I don't have no problem with that. But God first. So tithe to yourself first. Jesus is within me, I shall not fail. So tithe to yourself first. All right. Church board, church congregation, then you can give to them next. So that's just my opinion and my 2 cents. Some people don't agree, but I've been part of church my whole life, so I understand some things nowadays. So I'm not saying don't give to the church. I'm just saying you give to you first, then the church, because you are also your own sanctuary. You are also your own divinity. So that's how you balance that. Because of course we need fellowship, we need other people. That's a given. But you see how these phones are trying to interrupt. Like my phone that's on Wi-Fi has calls coming through trying to interrupt me, and then my other phone has calls coming through trying to interrupt my transmission and my message. That's how I know that I'm supposed to be saying this, that I'm supposed to be making this video, and I'm supposed to be taking this time for myself, to myself, and to you. That's how I know. Because the energy and the frequency wants me to, no, stop talking, stop sitting there, stop thinking, get up and do something external outside of yourself. That's what the frequency and the vibration wants me to do. But no, there's nothing more important right now at this moment than me getting my thoughts out, getting my mind together, transmitting this message that has been put on my heart to transmit, and that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to let anything else deter me from this moment. If it's an emergency, call 911. Ain't nothing I can do right now anyway. Right? Okay, so that's how we have to train ourselves. That's apply your own training. That's, good gifts from God. That's the workbook that I have on Amazon. That's it right there, is to apply your own training. And the only way you can do that is to take control of yourself, take control of your thoughts, your perspectives, take accountability for your own self, your life. And then that will help you be able to fight the battles or the spiritual warfare or the legal nonsense, anything, anybody, right? I love that song, Oh Happy Days, when Jesus was, oh, when he was, he wiped our sins away. And they go on to say, he helped me learn to fight and pray, and it's the same. It's the same for, from back then to now. It's the same. What's the saying? I'm the same then, I'm the same now, I'm the same forever. So, at the core, you know, of course we all have changes and we all do different things, but at the core, I'm the same as I was then, I'm the same as I am now, I'll be the same later. Even if I'm in a different form. So I'm excited because I'm taking the time for myself. That pose right there is starting to hurt, so let's do the other side. I was in a pose, by the way. It's one of my poses that helps me straighten my back and stand up straight as best possible. Have good posture, right? I try to work on it all day, every day. When I catch myself starting to, you start to slump over a little, it's like, no, sit up straight, because I'm a strong spine. I have to affirm it. And that's one of the ways that, our health is also affected by our spine. So you want to have a strong spine, strong mind, strong behind. I crack myself up. I know, it's corny, but I crack myself up. So I'm gonna put both hands over to the side and get that stretch in the lower back. I'm gonna put them back to this side, get a stretch in the lower back. I should have done it with the other leg too. Matter of fact, let's do that. Get back in this position. Stretch to the other side. And then stretch back to the other side. So I was by myself this morning, and so I'm thankful that I had this time to do this video, to do this yoga. Anytime you get some peace and moments alone, it's always good to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and close out. Of course, you can do more stretches if you want, but like I said, I already done my stretches before I started this video. I think it was more about the message than the actual movements. So I am thankful, I am humble, I am grateful. I am humility, I am faith. I am good circumstances, I am always at the right place in the right time. Nothing in me or on me can harm me. I have already manifested my desires. Namaste. Bye.